expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with the New Orleans Saints. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. First down, Winston. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. Yeah, this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front and linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that 1 or 2 guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible, so I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope, and it's hard to stop the fall. But I think you need to sit some guys down and say, hey, look, we're still going to be a playoff team this year. We need you guys to be bought in with what we're doing. Come on, let's get on board. He did a fine job there of not hitting it before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Winston throw complete there to Thomas. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 19.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Looking for Thomas. He's got him. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Saints take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. Lutz with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Taken in at the 3. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 21. Off play action. Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
2nd and 10. Now it's Wilson. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
On 3rd down, Wilson. He lets it fly for Lockett. And this is dropped. Oh, boy. A chance for a big play early, but he could not secure it. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Deontay Harris deep for New Orleans. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Coming off every player's friend, the open week from last weekend.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. Even if you're coming off of a loss as they did, the open week is exactly what you need after you kind of get over it a little bit, right? Rest up the mind, rest up the body, get yourself ready to go. And they have to be eager to play again, especially since they lost the last time out.
2nd down, and it's Kamara again. The ball is out. Kamara fumbled it, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. Always costly. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
And try to atone for it here on this drive. Winston now from the 50. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Bobby Wagner, multiple times an All-Pro, in there to drop him for a loss. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. On 4th down, the Saints bring on their new punter for 2021, Blake Gillikin. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he'll get credit for a punt inside the 20, not by much, but inside the 20 at the 19-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Play action. It's Wilson. He'll buy some time right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And he is going to have a Seahawks 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So for this defense, a tall order ahead trying to defend against Russell Wilson. Charles, your keys for how they might go about keeping him in check?
Well, before we even get to the keys, let's start with the problems he presents, because he feels pressure so well. He's got a great sixth sense, maybe even a 7th and 8. He knows where the pressure's coming from. He knows how to slide away from it, sometimes run away from it, and then he finds good throwing lanes to deliver downfield. So to me, it's that pressure inside, big, tall guys to make him try and throw over them and make his height work against him.
They go play action with Wilson. He's going to wind up and air it out. This is caught inside the 15. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Well, you normally talk about the mobility and the accuracy first, but the arm strength, that's what can turn Russ into Danger Russ. Myers connects on the PAT, and that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
These two teams all tied after one. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Mills, throw left side complete. That's Harris. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Mills on 3rd and 2. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. Mills to throw for it on 4th. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
Well, they picked up the first down, but I'm just going to say it. I didn't like it before the ball was snapped, and I don't like it now that they picked it up. Think about field position on their own side of the 50. They don't get it. They put their defense in a bad spot. And it's just not a decision that pays off very often.
Well, it wasn't 4th and a yard. There was some meat on that ball.
There really was. Fortunate to get it in that situation, but not a call I would make very often.
Here's 2nd and 10. On play action, Mills. He gets this out to Foster on the right side. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 14. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Got a man open. It's Thomas. It's a touchdown for New Orleans. Michael Thomas, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Saints have taken the lead. Lutz good on the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah, why
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Wilson. A pass underneath for Carson. And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8. And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. Wilson after the play fake to Carson. Open man is Eskridge. That's complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Play action. Now Wilson. Dancing to his left. And smartly going into the slide there. Wilson has enough for the first.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
They go play action now. Wilson. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by Quan Alexander. And the Saints are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit. And that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
Tackle made by Rasheem Green.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense, and reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Play fake, Mills. They'll roll him out right. Again, it's Johnson. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. A gain of 6 there on first. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Mills now. This one incomplete. Probably should have been picked. A little nonchalant with a throw to the safety valve, and it's 4th down. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Sliding out of the pocket. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Wilson. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down because they did not want to give the ball up here late in the half. They'd love to take the clock all the way down and score. This will definitely help the cause.
Flushed out right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Paulson Adebo. And the Saints are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Working with a 2nd and 3. Throwing, Mills. Looking long for Thomas. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big connection on that one. 36 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. He gets it complete to Harris. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs as we just saw there.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
A first down throw for Mills. Looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted. Picked up by DJ Reed. And the Seahawks are going to take possession here at their own 3-yard line. That's not one that he's going to want to remember, but he had to get it out of the way at some point. His first career interception.
And if he's the guy that they think he is, he's not laughing it off, but he's also not going to let it affect him as the game proceeds. He's going to go back out there, still be the same confident kid, the reason that they drafted him, and go out and play.
They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Now Wilson down around his goal line. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Troy Apke. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Saints out on top. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
Both these teams going through their final adjustments before heading back out of the locker room. Time for us to go back out to Lumen Field, where we rejoin Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Seahawks trailing, but they will have possession first here as we resume action in the 3rd quarter. Taken in at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. is the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. They run it with Carson, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Double tight, guys, double tight.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
Mike 20, Mike 20, Mike 20. There we go, Mike 20, Mike 20, Mike 20. Get him, get him, get him. Run fast, run fast. Hey, that's us.
Here's Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Paulson Adebo. And the Saints are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line. The first half did not go their way, and that's not going to help matters at all. An interception here on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter.
Obviously not what they were striving to accomplish. But you know who's really upset on their team? The defense. Already trailing. They're going to be counted on to try and hold that score at least where it is.
3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Kamara's got the first down and then some. And he's going to take this all the way down to the Seahawks 33. 96 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. Looking for Thomas. He's got him. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas. 33 yards. And the forced turnover on defense leads to 6 points. Lutz with the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Taken in at the 3. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. And since they still have 10 yards to go, they'll just say, let's roll this over to 3rd down and decline it.
Let's just be honest about it. If you can't get them off the field on 3rd and 10, then something's wrong with your defense anyway. No sense in taking that penalty.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Wilson. Rolling to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over him.
Yeah. And every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
And that's going to be caught, Dwayne Eskridge. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. That's complete to the tight end, Everett. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. This is Carson. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Throwing is Wilson. Being chased out left. He'll spot Eskridge open left side. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. And he'll find Everett there, complete. 7 yards to pick up there. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Flush to his right. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Carson. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8 at the 11-yard line.
They go play action with Wilson. And my goodness, another interception. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the Saints are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara showed some strong running, but quickly corralled just beyond the 10-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on 1st down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Kamara gets it again on 2nd down. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. 110 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. They go play action. Mills. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they bring this one back. It's a fumble recovery and a Seattle touchdown. The extra point now coming from Myers. It's up and good, so they claw back into it. 24-14 now. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This fielded right at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They have to like the position that they are in. Fourth quarter, 2-score lead, and now the ball back after the INT. Jamal Adams coming up from his safety spot to make the play.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge. Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Big Al Woods there to make the tackle. Now flags will come in, and I think this is against the Saints up front. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. Now a second down throw from Mills. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Foster. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a first down due to the previous penalty. The Saints on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This time it's 3rd and 3. Third and short yardage, Mills. And that will be incomplete.
Coverage is awfully tight there on third down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up fourth down.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. On 2nd and inches, Wilson. He'll buy some time right. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Play action. It's Wilson. They'll roll him out right. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Late in the game, defense trying to avoid a big play. He's able to work out of the passing game, turn it into a run, pick up the first, and stop the clock as well.
And you know in this situation, everything is sped up. The intensity, the thinking, everyone's movement. But for a quarterback, he has to continue to be what we call a flatliner. Level in everything he does and read the clock, feel it in the pocket, and go at the appropriate time.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Wilson. A pass underneath for Carson. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
And we're definitely getting towards the point of the game where not getting a lot of yards is secondary to keeping the clock moving. I mean, to me, that's a double win defensively. Short gain and some more time off the clock.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Mills now looks to throw on 1st down. Gets this to a standout receiver, Thomas. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. First down, Mills. Flushed out right. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the 4th quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game.
Got a man open. It's Thomas. It's a touchdown for New Orleans. A 5-yard touchdown catch. And the Saints look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Lutz good on the extra point, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Taking it about the 1. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 26.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a 4th straight loss. And boy, another ill-advised throw there as that will wind up incomplete. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game. And that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them, holding them under 200 today.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A big play that time through the air. 36 yards. On 1st down, Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Well, I kind of got to give him credit. Another incompletion there, yes, but he's still trying to make plays outside the pocket.
Yeah, he's been hemmed in for much of the game. How about him getting outside there? And that's what you want to see from your quarterback. He's not giving up on this game, so every other player in the field has to say to himself, I can't give up either.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Out left, he's got it to Everett. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Carson. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Ball at the 6 here as they work with a 2nd and 2. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
56, check 56. Stop your whining. 14, run it. Check. Check, hot route.
And looked like some movement there. Let's get the call. Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
And they'll try again here, 1st and goal after the false start.
Mike 56, Mike 56. It's coming this way,
Wilson after the play fake, and he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. Getting the sack, the 227-pound linebacker, Quan Alexander. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. Another try after the first down sack. Wilson sliding out of the pocket, and he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Freddie Swain, his first touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. Oh, I think the Seahawks got it. They did. It's Seattle football. Well, that certainly makes things more interesting. You get the score, then you get the onside kick. A little uphill battle still, but a start.
It's not mission accomplished, but the plan is working. They are in a great spot right now, and the best part, they put the defense right back out on the field after having already scored.
Yeah, they've got the momentum here now. A throw left side to start the drive is complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. Here's Wilson. Dumps this one off to Chris Carson. Carson to first down and more. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And the Saints are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
They begin on the ground with Kamara. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. One of the best of the last decade or so, Bobby Wagner in to bring him down. 2nd down, and it's Kamara again. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss there. Now 3rd and 14. So this one, a victory here for New Orleans. And we talked so much about the turnover battle determining who wins and who loses. This game, no exception. They didn't turn the ball over at all, and they go on to victory.
They look like a smooth operation in this one, didn't they? Because you look at every facet of the game, they handled their business. Offense took care of the football, converted it into points. Defense took the ball away, gave it back to the offense. Special teams right there with them.